didn't get any help from the offense today, but look at that third inning, the pitch to work. Are we okay with the pitch selection there? Just a matter of execution.
In the third?
In the third, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I thought the execution wasn't good, so it's kind of hard to contemplate when it's bad execution. I thought the sixth inning was bad pitch selections. Just fell into patterns and very frustrating to put myself in that position and then just not make, I was making quality pitches. Obviously didn't execute the first two hitters, throwing 8 straight or however many it was, and then, to get Rooker there on and get me back in the inning, and then just made some terrible pitch selections that took hurts.
What do you make of the offense for the last couple of weeks? Obviously, you guys have been one of the highest scoring teams in the majors all season. What do you think from a pitching standpoint?
I mean, it's just kind of the way the game goes sometimes. I feel like I know it can be frustrating, and, I think obviously these guys have done it before, so and they've had a lot of success in their careers, and guys who have put up a lot of great numbers, so I can't sit here and ruminate too much on the thought of, like, us scuffling and how long it's going to last or whatever it may be. And I trust that, everybody's going to figure it out, and everybody's talented, and they're here for a reason. So, I trust and have full faith that these guys will figure it out.
Do you feel like that makes you pitch differently at all, knowing that they've been having trouble scoring runs?
Not really. Like, I'm not out there like, oh, okay, like, we haven't been scoring, I have to be perfect. But when it's a 0-0 ball game, I definitely pitch different. I think, and, when it's 1-0, you have to be a little bit more fine and can't make too many mistakes. So I would say the score more dictates the way I pitch more than, me thinking that guys aren't going to get hits because they haven't been hitting. So I would say, yeah, just situationally, I think, just being aware of the score is definitely a factor.
What do you think it was about Sears and the rest of the A's staff that was really able to shut down the offense this afternoon?
He just did a good job, located really well, mixed up his pitches. He used all of them. I mean, it's same thing with Philly Perkins that came in behind him. He was using fastball, slider, cutter, change. Just, we weren't really able to get any momentum going, and they won the game, and we'll come out and be ready to go tomorrow.
It seemed like there's been more inconsistency in the offense the last couple of weeks as opposed to the rest of the season. Just can you pinpoint at all why that is?
It's just baseball, and we haven't performed our best the last couple of weeks, but there's going to be ups and downs, and I think the point is just to keep going, keep making the adjustments that are needed individually and as a group, and have good at bats, and know that we're a very capable team, and just take it day by day, go out there and try to win as many games as possible.
You had managed one of just the 3 singles that you guys had today. Just overall, how have you been feeling at the plate?
I mean, I feel good. I feel fine, but I haven't not played well for the last few weeks, maybe even this whole month. So again, that's part of the game, and working to see if there's adjustments to be made, and trying to show up every day and perform. But it's hurt our team the way I've played this month, and again, just show up and be ready to go tomorrow and every day, and just try to help us win.
Aaron, the offense shut out just 3 hits overall through 9. Just what were you seeing from them in the batter's box? Were you okay with the approaches this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, just held down. Obviously, we faced JP a lot over the years and had some pretty good success against them, but just didn't create a lot with them today. Now, I thought he did a really good job glove side. I thought he had a real presence on the inner half with our righties to that corner. So it kind of opened up some of his secondary as well. Same with going that way, to our lefty. So I thought he did a good job on that side of the plate, and then changed speed. So I thought he threw the ball well, but we just didn't amount enough against him.
Aaron, you look at the top of that 8th inning, some defensive miscues. What happened with Wells and Muncy there on that?
Well, it's in no man's land, but it's pop up. So you have you're probably going to have a play at third. I mean, so. It's in no man's land there, and you just gotta, you gotta slow things down right there, and the ball's probably going to be spinning like it was. So, had no problem with Wellesley picking it up there, but the play's at third base.
Clarke Schmidt on the mound had a 28 and a third scoreless streak snap there with the solo shot in the fourth inning. Overall, what did you see from Schmidt today?
Yeah, I thought he threw the ball well. I mean, obviously the 2 walks there, come back to bite him, and then, probably not a pitch he wanted to throw, down and in with a cutter there. Probably got to get that one up or backdoor it. He had success with Kurtz his first 2 times, but just, threw that cutter down and in right into his, kind of that nitro zone. So, but overall, I thought he threw the ball well, and those 2 walks, though, that really came back to harm him.
Joel.
Aaron, it's been 2+ weeks for your offense of really not producing. Do you have a thought, a theory on what's gone on pretty much up and down your line?
Yeah, I mean, just a couple guys going through it right now. Look, I think that 2.5 weeks is a lot different. We had the week, where we got really blanked a lot, and then I thought probably about 5 days in a row, even some of the Angel games into the Baltimore series, where I thought we were back to, really heavy at bats, taxing the starting pitcher. Got some good results, some games where we didn't totally break through, so I really thought we were starting to do that. And then, last 2 days been shut down a little bit more than we'd like. We just got to get a couple guys going, and in times like this, it's always like, it comes down to getting the big hit with runners out there. We're doing an okay job of creating some traffic, even though we haven't gotten a lot of hits the last 2 days. But I feel like over the last week, 10 days, we've had our opportunities. We got to cash them in, and then for the most part, we haven't been hitting the long ball either. But it comes down to you got to cash in when you get opportunities when you're going through it a little bit.
Max.
Have you picked up on anything with Judge specifically with how uncharacteristic this stretch has been?
No, baseball. I mean, everyone's going to go through a little something, and, he'll continue to make his little adjustments and catch fire. He smoked 2 balls today. I thought JP made a good pitch on him on the ball, the first and second, where he kind of stayed inside it, tied him up enough, but kind of smokes it to right there, and then, hits one to the deepest part of the park. So, that's not that far off. He's probably just been not quite as long through the zone, as he usually is, and that's just minor timing things that he's going to come around and get.
Dan and Meredith.
Wells' slump has gone on for quite a while now. Are you seeing anything different in his at bats, and do you have to, does he need to change anything in his approach?
Yeah, he's still giving us that big at bat every now and then where, man, he locks down and it's a tough situation. He gives you that good at bat. Maybe a little something also with his load, which allows you to kind of separate properly and get your swing off. I feel like he's been kind of in between, out in front of a lot of secondary or change-ups. So probably just, I'm not going to get too wonky and into the weeds with you from what I see, but, I think a little bit load timing things that, probably are affecting him a little bit.
And what happened with Hamilton and Wilson there?
Nothing. Hammy just upset with himself and being intense.
Meredith? Anyone else? Joel?
I might be looking for something here, but pretty much since Stanton came back, this has coincided. Some of your players are furniture. They're in the lineup every day, Judge Volpe, but we ask you every day about moving other guys around. Do you think there's any cause or effect that guys who are used to playing every day maybe aren't playing every day right now?
Grish is playing really well. Belly's playing really well. JD is. Those are the guys that are impacted. So I do think it's a little looking for it. The reality is those guys are all playing pretty regularly. And I think the guys that we're talking about, for the most part, to me, even through this stretch, I feel like have been given quality at bats. Even G didn't get any results today, and now he hasn't homered but watch G's at bats. He's been, I feel like, in a pretty good spot since he's come back. So, as long as we don't score or whatever, we got to find something. I don't think that's the case.